I just wanted to ask about the spring game. Have you thought about how you're splitting the guys up and format and things like that?
No, I really haven't yet. You don't waste a lot of time on that because you don't know who's going to be healthy for the game. So I'll look at that this weekend, and then as long as things go well Tuesday, we'll kind of have it pre-done, and then I'm sure we'll have to adjust it. We always do.
Greg, how do you feel the offensive line's developed so far this spring? Obviously, there's been a little bit of movement.
I think we're getting better day by day. I mean, we got a long way to go, so I don't want to overdo it there, but we certainly have made improvement, and we just have to keep making improvement. It's going to be an ongoing task.
Great. This will be Gavin Wimsatt's first time throwing in front of fans here in his home stadium, and it'll be the fans' first time watching him throw. How do you prepare him for that, and what should fans expect to see on Friday?
Well, I think out of all the quarterbacks, they've all done a good job. They've all gotten better. I just got done telling the team I thought we had a much better understanding, probably the best understanding we've had, just situations, game, and I thought the competitiveness, back and forth OD was the best we've had. At times there's been, one side has dominated, but this was a good back and forth today.
Is that kind of the natural progression of spring? Is that you just kind of want to see guys showing that incremental improvement over the course of or is it just young guys kind of starting to get it?
No, it really is always about incremental improvement. Springtime is a little different because you go a day and then you're off a day and then you go a day. So it's a little harder now, and they're still training, right? So they're lifting and they're training through the event, which is the practices themselves, because we have to keep our eye on the prize, which is the season. So, JB gets them on the off days, and they meet a little bit on the off days. So spring's a crowded time for them, but I think this crew has done a really good job of embracing the grind.
I know you don't do captains till the summer, but have you seen some guys step to the forefront in terms of leadership?
Yeah, I do think we have some guys that are growing up, and becoming more leaders. I'm gonna hold on who they are, just because I want it to happen organically. And if somebody reads that I think it's this guy or that guy, then all of a sudden that'll be I want to watch. Summertime to me is a time when your team really finds its chemistry, because the coaches aren't around them as much, and what they do with JB and his staff is grueling to get ready for the season. So I think some player-driven, player-led leadership really comes to the forefront in the summer.
With the strides that Kes Abraham made last year, what do you kind of want to see from him now as he kind of tries to build on that, and what are your expectations for what he should be able to do? Yeah,
I'd like to see him really just keep going and continuing on the course that he was. There's going to be increased competition at his position, so that's going to challenge him. And Kes is a really good football player. He's a good corner, but he's a good football player. He has a good sense of what's going on. He just needs to continue to improve. The one thing that, because we haven't yet experienced great success, is you get a little bit of good and you start to say, well, that's the biggest enemy to me, right? Those are good things to keep you going, but please don't rest on that, or you'll get passed by like that. And I'm not saying Kes is doing that. I'm talking more programmatically. Anything good we do, got to build on it. We got to enhance it.
Greg, the linebacker room took a pretty big hit when Moses Walker obviously got injured. Would you say that the room is just kind of thin, and do you kind of plan on adding someone after the spring?
Well, the room is definitely thin, and Mo Toure got hurt. What was it, Thursday? We're not exactly sure what, if he's going to be, what the extent of it's going to be yet. There's some differing opinions medically, so we're gonna continue to work it up, and but it could be really lean here in a short bit. So, but that's part of football. It's a violent game. It's the best game in the world, but it's a violent game, and things happen, and you have to be ready to just move on. And sometimes you have to move positions. Sometimes you have to, with the transfer portal now being available, we may have to do that. It is what being a college football program. That's what you do.
Time for two more. I want to ask you about Keontae Hamilton. Where's he at in his development? Coming off, he had a unique situation with the wrestling, coming in late. But where's he at now?
Keontae is a really fine football player. He's young, but man alive, he does a lot of things right. He does it very well. He's played a few different positions since he's been here, and he's only been here for a year. He's a guy that we really count on, and he's young, so it says something for him.
Drew and Mark both splitting duties, coaching the DBs. How have they been working together and just their acclimation?
Great, yeah. Both, Drew was here, but I think Drew was a tremendous addition as a position coach, and Mark is everything that I'd hope he'd be and more. He's a really good teacher, connects with our players, adds to the staff, the chemistry as well as the schematics and technique. So I think the defensive staff, it's predominantly new, has really meshed pretty well. And, I'm excited to see that continue as we move on. Now, as college coaches, they all hit the road after the game, so they'll be on the road recruiting. But we'll get back in June and get back at it together. So, yeah, I'm encouraged by both those guys. All right, guys, thank you.